Imagine being one of the wealthiest men in the Roman Empire, advisor to the emperor, possessing unimaginable fortunes in gold, land, and properties, and yet writing, "Wealth is the slave of the wise man and the master of the fool." Seneca wasn't a poor philosopher preaching detachment because he had no choice. He was immensely wealthy and deliberately chose not to be enslaved by his riches. In the next few minutes, you're going to discover Seneca's Stoic principles about money that are as radical today as they were 2,000 years ago. Because true financial freedom isn't having more money, it's having control over your relationship with money. Get ready, because this is going to turn upside down everything modern society has taught you about success. Welcome to 10 Minutes of Wisdom, where we explore ancient wisdom that liberates modern lives. I'm Francini, and today we're diving into the wealth philosophy of Seneca, the Stoic who had everything but was possessed by nothing. If you want to understand how to have material prosperity without losing your soul in the process, hit that like button now and subscribe to the channel, because what's coming next is philosophy that transforms money slaves into masters of their own lives. Lucius Annaeus Seneca lived in the 1st century AD, was tutor and advisor to Emperor Nero, playwright, Stoic philosopher, and one of the richest men in Rome. His fortune is estimated to be equivalent to billions of dollars today. He owned vast estates, luxurious gardens, slaves, gold. And here's the paradox that confuses many people. How can a philosopher who preaches detachment and simplicity be so wealthy? His critics, both then and now, accuse him of hypocrisy. How can you preach poverty while swimming in gold? But here's what they don't understand. Seneca never preached poverty. He preached freedom. And there's an abysmal difference. Seneca understood that the problem isn't having wealth. The problem is being possessed by it. It's not having things. It's needing them to be happy. It's not owning properties. It's having your identity defined by them. He wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor." See? Poverty isn't an external condition. It's an internal state. You can have millions and be miserable with spiritual poverty. You can have little and be rich in inner peace. Seneca practiced what he preached in radical ways. Regularly, he imposed periods of voluntary poverty on himself. He ate simple poor man's food, slept on hard beds, wore simple clothes. Why? To train his mind not to need luxury, to prove to himself that he could live well without everything he possessed. Seneca developed 3 fundamental principles about wealth that, if you understand deeply, will set you free. Principle 1. Own, but be ready to lose. Everything we have is temporary. Our homes, money, even our bodies. Recognizing this frees us from the constant fear of loss and allows us to enjoy life without being enslaved by possessions. Principle 2. Let wealth serve you, not the other way around. Having money doesn't guarantee freedom if it controls your time and choices. Use your resources wisely to enrich your life, not to trap yourself in obligations and luxuries that steal your peace. Principle 3. Face your fears voluntarily. Practicing simplicity and occasionally giving up comfort shows that loss isn't catastrophic. This builds inner freedom, reducing the power fear has over your life. Now to what really matters. How do you apply these Stoic principles to your real life, today, in the 21st century? Practice 1. The imagined loss exercise. Once a week, dedicate 10 minutes to vividly imagine you've lost everything. Your job, your house, your savings. Visualize this without panic, but with Stoic acceptance. And then ask, how would I rebuild? What skills do I have? What genuine relationships would remain? What really matters? This isn't negativity. It's psychological preparation. Olympic athletes visualize failure so they're not paralyzed by fear of it. You do the same with financial loss. And when you realize you could survive, even thrive again, fear loses its power over you. Practice 2. Monthly Simplicity Retreat. Once a month, spend an entire day living with the absolute minimum. Don't spend money. Eat simple food you already have at home. Don't use paid entertainment. Don't drive if you can walk. Wear simple clothes. During that day, observe your mind. Do you feel deprived, anxious, bored? Or do you discover you can have contentment even without luxuries? Seneca did this regularly and discovered, repeatedly, that he was freer than he imagined. Practice 3. Before any significant purchase, ask, does this increase my freedom or decrease it? Does this serve my purpose or serve my ego? Does this bring me closer to the life I want or trap me in a life of working to pay for it? Seneca would say, don't buy the bigger house if it means 10 more years of working at something you don't love. Don't buy the luxury car if it means sacrificing the freedom to try that risky but meaningful career. Every financial decision is, in reality, a decision about how you spend your life, because time is the only truly limited resource. Money you can recover, time never. Practice. 4. Strategic generosity. Seneca was extremely generous, but strategically. He helped friends establish businesses. He sponsored promising young people. He invested in education. Practiced generosity not just as charity, but as affirmation of abundance. When you give freely, you declare to your subconscious, I have more than enough. I don't operate in scarcity. And this mindset attracts more abundance. But give consciously, not to impress, not from guilt, but because you genuinely want to be a channel of blessing. Seneca said that giving well is as important as earning well. Seneca created a simple test to know if you possess your things or they possess you. Ask these honest questions. Question 1. If you lost everything tomorrow but kept your health and skills, how long would it take you to be happy again? If the answer is never or a very long time, you're enslaved by your possessions. Question 2. Can you spend an entire day without spending money and still have contentment? If not, you're dependent on consumption for happiness. Question 3. Can you say no to a promotion that pays more but demands more time and stress? If not, your job owns you. Question 4. How much of your time is dedicated to maintaining your lifestyle versus living your lifestyle? If you spend more time working to pay for things than enjoying the things, you're a slave. Question 5. Would you be able to reduce your standard of living by 50% if it meant having double the free time? If the idea terrifies you, you're trapped. Seneca passed this final test brutally. When Nero, his former pupil, ordered him to commit suicide, as was Roman custom, Seneca accepted calmly. He called friends, made his philosophical farewells, opened his veins, and died conversing about philosophy. Why could he die with such peace? Because he was never possessed by anything. Not by life, not by wealth, not by power. He possessed all these things, but none possessed him. And when the time came to let go of everything, he was ready. Here's the truth. The financial industry doesn't want you to know. Financial freedom isn't having 10 million dollars. Financial freedom is having control over your time and peace about your money, regardless of how much you have. Seneca had fortunes, but was free. Many millionaires today have fortunes, but are miserably trapped. The difference isn't in the bank account, it's in consciousness. You achieve true financial freedom when you're not afraid of losing what you have. You don't need to impress anyone with what you possess. You can say no to money when it costs your peace. You use wealth as a tool, not as identity. You can live well with less if necessary. This is applied Stoicism. This is Seneca's wisdom lived. And this is available to you now, not when you get rich, but when you change your consciousness about wealth. Seneca left us a 2,000-year legacy about how to have wealth without being destroyed by it, how to own things without being owned, how to prosper materially without impoverishing spiritually. The question isn't, should you be rich or poor? The question is, are you free or enslaved? And you can be free with either much or little. Freedom isn't in circumstances, it's in consciousness. Here's my Seneca-inspired challenge. This month, do a 3-day simplicity retreat. 3 days living with the absolute minimum. Simple food, no spending, no luxuries, no paid entertainment. And observe your mind. You'll discover one of two things. Either you're freer than you imagined and can live well with less, or you're more enslaved than you admitted and urgently need to work on your detachment. Both are valuable discoveries. If this video challenged your way of thinking about wealth and freedom, hit that like button now. Subscribe to the channel because we keep exploring Stoic philosophy applied to modern life. And comment below. Do you possess your things or do they possess you? Be honest. This honesty is the first step to freedom. I'll read and respond. Remember Seneca's final words. It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult. Dare to be free. Dare to detach. Dare to possess without being possessed. See you in the next video. Until then, practice stoicism and prosper in freedom.